Is this the biggest Carcassonne collection ever?
Welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be dedicated to the Carcassonne big expansion called Count, King and Robber. So some of them I've kept the box because I could fit on the big box that I already have in the channel. This one is an example of that. So I'm holding everything in this box, and then I put this box inside the big box, and then everything is in the big box. So this is not one expansion. This is like, it includes like 5 mini expansions, which is the city, the count, cultists, king and robber, and the new river. So it gives you more modules for you to add on your Carcassonne game or not. So yeah, let me show you a bit here on the manual look. So the manual will go through, it's a smaller manual, will go through all the 5 expansions, as you can see, the 5 of them and how they interact with other expansions. And so this is how it looks, the big tiles for the city, and then you have spread here the tiles, which I'm going to show you in detail. Also the king and robber tiles, and some of the meeple, the count meeple, and the tokens. So I'm going to take everything and go one by one. I was very surprised to know there is a River 2 expansion. So you can spot those because they have the darker background, identifying them as initial tiles. So I've shown you the River 1, and now this is the River 2. So everything starts here with this initial tile, which is where the river is born. And then during setup, the next player takes a tile from here. And I think this is like the last one, takes a tile and places along the way logically. And you can also decide already to put a meeple if you want. And then you another player draws the next one. And apparently there are some crossroads now on River 2, so you can continue the river in any direction. As you can see, crossroads, forks, as the manual calls it. And it goes. Don't forget that you cannot go to the next direction, so you need to change the direction in order not to create a loop. For some reason, I think this is this way and that way. There's a monastery already, then another turn. And I'm not sure. Oh, yes, wait. There's a... So this is supposedly 2 places or where it can hand. But yeah, there was a fork here, so I was supposed to put this one here, but then I screwed things with this road here. Yeah, I don't know how to solve this puzzle, but I think maybe the manual here said this is not allowed, so turning back. You can combine River 2 with River 1. Oh, cool, River 2. Yeah. So I messed up here with the fork, I don't know, but this is the River 2 with forks, and it creates that initial river that looks very good. The next thing that comes inside is the city of Carcassonne and the count. They go together, but the city of Carcassonne is these 2 big tiles. You see, this is a 3x4 rectangle that looks like it was made of 12 normal ones, and it has 2 sides. So this is a side without flags, and then if we turn it, okay, just ran away under the camera, it's now the same thing, but it has some flags identifying the districts, which is castle, cathedral, there's a blacksmith, and some kind of fair or commerce or place where you can sell things. Okay, so you can play with both. If you play with this side, it's just a normal city of Carcassonne that starts, and then you can then close roads or cities along the way. But this side is much more cooler because it includes the count. The count is always in one of these districts. It never leaves the city. And then the difference is, how do you activate these things? So once you close a road, a city, whatever, the things that you see identified in there, and you don't score, then what you can do is you can put a meeple here in one of these things. So if you close the road and you don't score, you could put a meeple here, or if you close a monastery without scoring it, you put it there. The castle is for the cities, and here the market would be for the farmers. Later on, when one of those structures, like a road or a city or a monastery, etc., is scored, all players in turn order have the chance to pick up those meeples from that you have left here, and you could put them on that structure, going above the limit of just having one. So you can invade a structure that is being closed, and if you have the majority after deploying your meeples, and everyone has deployed, then you can win the points. You can steal the points. Okay? And the farmer. So if the meeple is here, and the farmer, it's going to be a farmer. Farmer's here waiting for the end of the game, and then when the last tile is placed, and it's time for you to take a look at farmers. Yeah, you also take your farmers here, and you place on any farm, and then increase the majority. So this is like putting here meeples on the wait to see when is the strategic moment for you to take them out and deploy them in the road, in the fields or in the structures. But the count, if the count is on one of these areas, then it means that it cannot activate. The count blocks areas to be activated and for those meeples to move. Don't forget that you can also move the count by when you close a structure and you bring meeples, you can move then you as a player can move the count to a district of your choice within the city. Next we have the robber and the king tiles. So this is a very simple addition to the game. It works a bit like Catan here because it works with the largest city and the largest road, and you get these two tiles, but I think you just need one. It's like a redundancy if you lose any of them. So basically, when you complete a city, the first one that completes a city, it gets this tile in front of that player, and then you put the king on that city, representing that the king is there. Okay. Then later on, when someone builds a bigger city than yours, the king changes to that city, and that player keeps or gives the king token to that other player and that built. And then so the king is traveling around. The bigger the city, that's where the king is going to be. And what does it mean to be the king is that in the end of the game you will score one additional point for each city that you've built if you are the king in the end of the game. So logically the robbers work the same way. When you build a road, you get the robber there and you get the tile. Later on, when someone builds another robber, a bigger road, it takes the robber tile, and the robber moves there, and it keeps moving the more bigger roads are built. And in the end of the game, you get one extra point for each road if you have the robber tile. The box also comes with these 5 tiles, which are called the cultists or the cultist expansion. So these are shrines that you see. They don't look like religious Catholic monuments. They're like paganistic religion. So, and the way you work with this is when you place this tile, you can only place this tile one shrine adjacent to one monastery. That can only be a shrine adjacent to a monastery, or there can only be a monastery adjacent to one of the shrines. The reason for that is this expansion from a team perspective is adding a new religion to the Carcassonne area, meaning that these things will work as monasteries. If you complete everything around it gives you 9 points. But if you put it next to a monastery, it will initiate what the game calls a challenge. So this religion will be challenging the other religion, and the meeple is an heretic. And it's a challenge because if there is a shrine and there is a monastery, the one that closes before with those 9 tiles around, it scores the 9 points, and then the other one scores 0. So the religion that scores first wins, and the other one loses the challenge. Finally, in a very simple way, this box also brings the new land tiles, which are tiles that don't have anything special. They are just new tiles that could easily go to amongst the base game tiles. Just different combinations like cities going over cities, corner cities, roads getting into cities, and this one looks very normal. Okay, just to add up on the previous tiles, and that's it. Yeah, so this was very simple. It's Count, King, and Robbers. I hope you like this video to the point that you consider hitting that like button and subscribing. So I have a playlist. I'm building a playlist with these videos for Carcassonne, but I also have playlists for many other board games out there, as well as for the major card games in the market. I also have a podcast called The Table Talks, where I'm interviewing people to get to know their projects, their stories, their profiles while playing board games online with them. So I definitely think that you'll find interesting content in the channel to consider subscribing and to be part of this community. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye.